Welcome back to episode 7 of The Profit Philosophy with the two headed marketing goat. How are you, Harleen, brother?
Doing very well, as you can see. Finally back home in England, bro. I'm
Come
so
on,
happy to be here.
back to routine.
Yes, sir.
Come on. Well, something I wanted to dive straight into today is community and how underrated it actually is. Because I've seen it
Yeah.
multiple times now, specifically with coaches or people with like an online service. And like you could be delivering a very, very good service and hitting the goals and getting your clients what they want. But if they're missing out on the community aspect, I guarantee you they will be dropping off much earlier than they should. And it's probably why you're sitting there questioning your own service, thinking, what am I doing wrong? But it's not what are you doing wrong, it's more so what are you not doing?
Mm. I had It's interesting you say that because I remember when I used to I have clients and I didn't offer anything group related, so I didn't have them talking to other people or other clients and stuff, and it was like I could sense that they were feeling like, am I the only one doing this? Am I the only one
Yeah.
here? And it's like a lot of the time, we have to remember that humans are social animals, right? And social proof is a very real thing. And humans socially, they naturally want to do stuff that other humans are doing, right? So
Yeah.
if they if they see other people doing well or going through with the actions as well, it's like in their brain, they people automatically just want to do those things as well. And then
Yeah.
inevitably, when you go through the actions, that's when the outcomes also happen as well. So, in terms of, in regards to having group stuff going on and community stuff, I think that's like, it's so important. But I've also realized that people are kind of switched off by the word community. It's like
Yeah.
anytime anyone mentions community, or at least with me, I'm like, oh, not another community thing. So maybe I think if you're out there and you want the benefits of community, I think you need to figure out a way to say community without saying community. And
Yeah.
one more thing as well is like, don't say networking either, because that's such an overused term that no one really cares about.
Someone said that to me the other day actually. They offered me to join their community for free because they said it would have been valuable for other people to be able to like connect and get advice off of me. And his the way he leveraged it to me was that there was networking, but there really like when I'd actually broke apart what it was, there wasn't really like a crazy network for me to access or anything like that was super leveraging on my side. So that's why you need to be careful. But again, I would say that having a community is always more beneficial than not having one. In my most recent video, I spoke about not only just the community side of things, but also the accountability side of things, where if everyone else is putting their wins in and showing their success, no one can then go and point the finger at you and go, this isn't working, what are you doing wrong? It's working for the 10, 15, 20 other people in the group, so why isn't it working for you? It's like undeniable social proof, and it takes away the aspect of someone potentially being able to point the finger at you, even if it's not your fault.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like, it does save that from happening, because I've had people say to me like, "Oh, I like your stuff doesn't work," and it's like, no, it does work. Just go into just look at other people and speak to other people, and it
Literally.
always does work for every single person. It's just that you're just not making it work. And then
Yeah,
once they have the realization of, oh crap, I'm not making it work. That's when they go ahead and just like start actually figuring stuff out for
yeah,
themselves. You know?
yeah. Facts. Because, like, for example, let's say you had a client, right, and if you didn't have a community in their first month, they've only had a few book calls, let's say, and they've not converted any of them, and then they could say, "Well, this isn't working," but really, you've got 10, 15 other people on a run rate for 100K plus. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like
Yeah.
then without the community aspect, they're a lot more likely to just not believe in your product. Whereas, as you said, if they can look at other people, then they're just going to inwardly look at themselves and think, what can I do better if they've got a brain? you know?
For sure, bro. For sure. Speaking of community, like the more social proof stuff, I want to like briefly touch on like marketing, right? And it's like
Mm.
I think people don't understand what marketing is. Like I think if you were to break down marketing to, how do I say this? Like to the most basic foundations.
Yeah,
Jeremy Pogue says this really well in his YouTube videos. He says marketing is just getting people to know you, like you, and trust you, right? And
yeah, facts.
I think people overcomplicate marketing so much so to the point where they don't do those basic things, if that makes sense. So I see
Yeah,
people like it's so crazy to me. I see people like their first attempt at marketing is I'm just gonna do SEO and hope for the best. Like I'm gonna do SEO one time and then I'm
yeah,
gonna go ahead and um
literally.
like my business should start booming. It's like no, like you can't just optimize your search engine one time with some keywords and then expect everyone to know that you
I
exist.
know.
You
Yeah,
know? And
it's
it's
true.
like I think with go on.
I was going to say it's just like they forget those basic principles, like you were saying. Like they think there's some quick shortcut, or you can send out like one email marketing campaign without there being any real marketing within the text or within what you're saying, and then you're gonna generate silly amounts of money. Like it's people just. I think people more so look for a shortcut and everything a lot of the time.
Yeah, bro. Like, and it's like these shortcuts don't exist. And it's like, if you really want to market your business, you all you need to do, and I'll give you the answer now as well. Like, all you need to do is figure out how can I get a lot of people to know I exist, and that
Yeah,
is it. Like, that's all you need to do. And if you get a lot of people, and by a lot, I don't mean 100, 1,000, 10,000. I mean like tens of thousands of people to know you
yeah,
exist. Once you can do that, then yeah, you can. That's how you get marketing down. And to be honest with you, like if you're selling something high ticket and you're not booking in, probably I'd probably say like 7 calls a week.
yeah,
There's a problem. Like that you have a marketing problem. Like not enough people
yeah,
know you. And then off the back end of that, you need to get them to like and trust you as well. And then liking and trusting comes from your content. So again, Jeremy Pogue said this really well. He said you like when you, in your content when you get people to like and trust you, you need to stand for something as well as stand against something as well. And like I'm very open and honest with what I stand against when it comes to
yeah,
marketing and business. I stand against one-to-one marketing, like one-to-one DMs and all that stuff. Like I hate it.
yeah,
Does it work? Yes, it does. Can it work? Of course it can. However, I just don't think that like right now in like 2025 and stuff, I don't think that's a viable way to market, especially if you're an SMB, so like a small medium business owner. Like I think when you start off, I genuinely think you should first of all start off with getting results for people that you know
yeah,
already that also like you. So you have some type of testimonial and then leverage those testimonials and then just pump ads and then from there, then you can start focusing on other client acquisition channels like cold DMs, cold emails, for example, something else. You know?
yeah. Yeah, like you said about the point previous with like the basic principles and how people kind of look for the shortcut. It's like that with content as well. Like people look at that algorithm, for example, and they see a type of content that's
Yeah,
trending and doing really well, and then it's like people almost try and base their whole business and like the foundations of their content off of just like trying to go viral or of one type of video that's done well once and they just hop on it, and it's like that's not what you should do. You should be coming up with a content matrix. You should be getting your set styles in place that obviously show social proof, but also show your own personality, etc. And then just be consistent. Like at the end of the day, not everything's going to get loads of views straight away. Like with this podcast, we're building it from the complete ground up, so we're not going to get
yeah,
100K in the first month. Do you know what I'm saying? We got nearly 4K,
mm.
but it's just about
Yeah,
consistency.
bro.
Like I'm wanting to get up to 100K and stuff like that. Those aren't unachievable numbers, but I'm aware that it's going to take time and consistency, and that's the part that
Mm.
people miss out on. Same with what you said about SEO and all that stuff. Yes, it definitely can work if you're consistent and you constantly learn about it and improve and come up with new systems, but again, a lot of people watch one YouTube video of, the one system or the one quick marketing scheme, and stuff like that never works. It never like quick story time. I once bought a 4x bot, okay? And for the first 2 days, it made absolutely nothing but profit. And I thought, you know what? I've won a watch here. My life's changed. The day after that, the account got blown, right? And it really taught me a lesson that quick money, it does exist, but easy money doesn't exist in that sense. Not at least not when you're first starting out, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I think with like the whole money stuff, I think people are just so, I don't even know how to say it, man. Like people are so cynical in the sense where like, what do you mean you think you can just take money off other people and think that you can do it without
Yeah,
giving them something of value, if that makes sense? Because realistically, like how money works is like, well, from what I know, it's like the way I see money in my head is like, how do I take money off somebody else? And it's like there's two ways of going about it: by force or by like service,
yeah,
if that makes sense. So it's like with this whole forex stuff, like technically, like people say you're not taking money from other people, but you are because people are exchanging
yeah,
currencies, like
yeah,
exchanging money. But it's like, bro, this whole forex trading stuff, like I don't know, man. Like I tend to stay away from it all. And I've had people come to me for help with forex and trading, and it's like I'm very skeptical about helping those types of people because I'm not trying to teach them how to market, teach them how to do sales, and then just have them
yeah,
go crazy with a scam.
yeah. Because it can be you in the wrong hands. Marketing can be actually quite dangerous in the sense that, like, if
Yeah, bro.
someone can sell a scam well and market a scam well enough, they can make a lot of money and steal a lot of money from people. That is what happens with a lot of these, like pump and dump crypto coins and the NFT wave that happened and all that kind of stuff. It's like people get so caught up with the marketing and the hype that they don't actually use
Hmm.
the logical thinking part of their brain. Crazy,
Yeah, they
emotional,
just get
emotional,
emotional and they just try and do. Yeah, 100%.
literally. And again, I think it comes from like, see, people looking for the shortcut. It's like the thought of having to do this and having to do that. But see, when you're actually in the moment doing the thing, it's not difficult. The thought of doing something is like a million times harder. Like it always, in my opinion, the perceived thought of like, oh, I'm gonna have to do this, and then it's done in an hour, whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? Like, just do the thing, stop
Yeah.
procrastinating, and you're gonna get there. Just stop looking for short. See, all the time people look for shortcuts. If they just put it into hard work, you'd be so much further ahead.
I think my issue here as well is like low key. Like I've been this whole morning, I've been procrastinating.
Yeah,
I haven't been doing anything, and it's like you're so right. Like, bro, it's always the thought of doing something that's the hardest thing to get over.
yeah,
But actually doing it is so easy. So it's like I think that's a skill that I need to get better at
hundred
myself,
percent. Yeah,
and I
and I
think
do
it's
it
a
as
skill that
well.
other people need to cultivate too.
Yeah. Nah, facts. Because I think it's something that everyone faces in life, whether you're a business owner or not. Like, there's things that we all need to do that we don't really want to do and that we all put off on a daily basis. But what is the overall benefit of that, especially within business when you know you're going to have to do it anyway? Do you know what I mean? Like, and I do it. Like, I've done it with, like, the next thing I want to outsource is reviewing content because I just don't think it's the most useful, like, use
Yeah,
of my time. Do you know what I'm saying? So there's instantly a bit of friction there when I need to review 20 videos, 30, 40 videos. You know, it's like shit. But if I put them off, all I'm going to do is piss off the client and then have to do it anyway. So it's like just bite the bullet, just get it done. You were
excuse
saying
me.
you wanted to speak about something to do with music marketing beforehand that you didn't let me in on.
Oh yes, I saw a video from Ross, not the
Mm,
UK Ross, the American one, and he was talking about social engineering, and he was talking about if how do I say this? Like he was talking about how he can, like how big record labels like they they purposefully blow up music to
Yeah,
make it seem like it's popping, right? And it's like he was going through it, and low key, it just sounded like music marketing to me. Like record labels, like he was
yeah,
talking about how like some record labels will put like almost $1 million into like TikTok and Meta ads to blow a song up,
yeah, yeah,
and like the reason they do that is because they blow up one song out of an album to build hype for the album, and then they get the money back for when the album sells and all that good stuff there. And it was like that
yeah.
just sounds like a lead magnet, and you know,
Nah,
getting
it
sales
bas-
off the album and the tours and tickets and stuff.
it basically is, but they've got it built up in a way where it's like they are the machine in that sense, and the tide is definitely turning in the sense that like independent music is probably in the best place it's ever been. But even still, it's like these big labels, they hold so much power still. Like for example, with Spotify playlist, and the majority of the big Spotify playlists are owned by labels. So it's like instantly
Mm.
that's a hack to getting very high streams per month, stuff like that. And then, as you said, with the ads and all that kind of stuff, it's like if they can make someone big and build hype around them, like I was saying with the crypto and NFTs before, there is a very much so a sheep mentality. So it's like he's getting loads of numbers, he's got 1 million followers. Let me tune into what he's doing. And personally, do I think that's the way music should be? No, because I think it should be about the music. But at the end of the day, you need to play the game nowadays. So that is why you should follow Time is Money Media, because we can do it without without
That's
a lot of the bullshit. A little plug there, but it's true. Like what
yeah,
we do at Time is Money is essentially what a label can do for you, but without having to sign your life away. You know, and it's like yeah, you might get an
yeah,
upfront.
facts. I think the good thing
Sorry,
I
on
think
you
the
go,
good
bro.
thing about you is like you don't. Yeah, I was just saying. I think the good thing about you is that you don't tie artists down. Like you keep artists independent, and you just
Literally,
handle their marketing for them, or just show them how to do it themselves. You know.
yeah, facts, bro. There's no contracts or anything in place. Like everyone just works with me because they want to, And I probably maybe should get contracts and stuff like that in place. As
Yeah,
things, do
low key.
you know what I mean? They probably should, but again, it just shows you the level of trust that I've built with these people because they know it works. It's like they don't want to go to other people
Mm.
and get locked into some silly sort of contract. Because again, I feel like specifically within the music industry, people don't like signing things because there's this fear of getting fucked over because big labels and stuff like that, and not even just big labels, all labels, like you can get offered a 360 deal for 100K and it might seem good at the time, but you're locked into that, and 100K goes very quick, especially if you're locked into that deal for 4 or 5 plus years. It's crazy what some people can get sucked into in the music industry.
100K for 5 years is only 20K a year.
So that's what I'm saying. People see this
That's
big advance and they're like, I'm getting 100K in one day. Now, obviously, some people are not everyone's getting locked in, but it happens to a lot of people, bro. Like I remember hearing someone um, so there's a channel called Press Play, and the guy that owns that's called Press Play Danny, and he locked. I think it was Russ, the UK Russ. I think it was him,
mm.
or if it was someone like him, in drill, and he locked him into like a 24 album deal, like 24 albums for I don't know how much, right?
Holy
And
crap.
they didn't even read it. They didn't even read it. They just signed it because they got an upfront or however much it was, and it just shows you that like this is why people are scared to sign things because obviously that's complete stupidity on the artist's part, right? But again, it's where I don't always like contracts in the music side of things because it's like, right, to be honest, if you don't want to work with me, I don't really want to work with you either in that sense because like we need to be building something together. We need to both be adding on to what we can both offer in that sense.
For
But
sure.
yeah, Russ has got the
I
marketing
think
on lock.
What, UK or American Ross?
US Russ. Too many Russies.
US, yeah. Bro, facts. Facts. I think, bro, I never really understood the hype around Ross until I listened to his music like once, and I was like, oh, I like this. you know?
Yeah, yeah, it's very positive. That's the thing as well. People think that they need to do whatever's popping, and then again, like what I said with the content, just be yourself. Do what you feel is the right thing to create, whether that's content, music, etc. And people are going to take that in the best way. Like Russ wouldn't suit the US Russ wouldn't suit speaking like 50 Cent on a track. It wouldn't get taken in the same, even if the lyrics were just as
Yeah.
good. So it's like just be yourself, and you're going to get your own audience and get taken in through that.
Bro, one thing up as well is like, with like, if anything from this conversation we've learned is it doesn't even matter because if you just pay for ads, people will automatically like your music.
Yeah, yeah, literally. The ads are a hack because it's like
Yeah.
you are by force pushing yourself into people's faces. And then if you are authentically being yourself on top of that, then you're just speeding up the process of creating your own audience because you're just interacting with more people every single day.
Mm-hmm.
So
For sure, bro. For sure.
um, this leads me into investments, right? Now, whether this be in ads and mentors, etc. We touched on it a little bit in the last episode, but if you're scared to invest, then you truly are never going to grow. You're not going to grow in business. You're not going to grow in life. And yes, at the time it might seem like a risk, but why would you not take a risk? Like my attitude has always been, even since before I've been in business, why not just take the risk? What is the worst that's going to happen? Especially at this age, like if you invest 5K and you get burned, that's a pain, but you've learned something in the process. You've learned how not to get burned. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
you're going to learn
Yeah,
something
facts.
regardless.
I've had a. I think. How do I even? I think people have this false notion where it's like they're scared. Like, okay, I'll put it this way: people are scared to lose money. Like, okay, let me restart. Actually, how can you be more scared to lose money than be stuck where you are at right now?
Yeah, literally.
And I think that's like something you have to ask yourself because it's like this is just for like I'm talking about ads, for example, like people who are scared of not being able to make ads work. It's like, well, what choice do you have? You can either stay here for a longer time, or you can try ads and then just finally learn a thing or two to get you a little bit closer. And then
Yeah,
afterwards, you try again, you get a little bit closer until one day, eventually, you just boom, you finally crack it, and then you
literally.
realize it was so simple, you were just overthinking it the whole time.
Yeah, that's another good, very big part, especially with not only just ads but in marketing. Like people overcomplicate things. At the end of the day, all you're doing is building social proof, which is building trust and confidence in what you sell, and then generating a high amount of leads that you can then provide that social proof and stuff like that too, and then eventually take them down a sales process and close the sale. But the marketing is really in generating the lead and then getting them to trust you so you can get to that end point with the sale. That is it. It's people
Yeah,
people spend way too much time and energy trying to overcomplicate it, and maybe that comes from university and like people having to make 3 to 5 year courses off of marketing and stuff like that. Like I had someone DM me on my McCulloch marketing page that had just done a master's in marketing, and they were asking me questions. The guy who did 6 months in an apprenticeship,
bro.
you know, you know, like
Don't even. I was speaking to like when I used to work at Nando's. There was a girl there, and like her name was Lauren. So shout out Lauren if you're watching this.
like
She was like she was doing a master's in marketing, and what she was learning about was how different colors um can connotate different meanings or something. And it was like I was listening to it and I was like, I'm not mad at Lauren because it's this is just peak, like this is what you're learning
yeah,
at a master's level.
mad.
But I was like, okay, tell me more. And she was like, yeah, so like if you have like, if for example, if you have a cat food brand and you use the same colors as the RSPCA, that could be good. And it's like in my head, I was thinking like, bro, how are you learning about colors, but you're not learning about meta ads? Like, what the hell's
Bro,
going on here? Like the
I know.
whole colors and like like these little like tiny micro optimizations. It's like they're not even micro; they're like nano
Yeah,
optimizations. It's like you're you're like you're learning about those, and it's like the only place where that would be useful is like when I need to hire someone to do optimizations, and at that
yeah,
point, I would have been so rich that I can justify paying 30 grand a year
yeah,
to like have someone do that for me, type of thing. And it's like it's just so beyond me. Like, how do you not learn about advertising and like meta ads and how to create lookalike audiences and how you can? I don't know,
yeah.
bro. Like
Do you?
like I was listening to it, and I was like, "There's no way."
Yeah. Do you think maybe this is just the conspiracy side of me, but do you maybe there's a part of the education system that doesn't want that information out there, not specifically just ads, but like ways to really, really elevate your life and like be super independent? Because I feel like what a marketing degree teaches you is how to go and work for a marketing agency or a marketing business. Like it's not really teaching you the
Yeah,
skills to scale and like really take marketing head on, you know? And those are skills that you're only going to learn through mentorship and through failure, which I've learned through both, you know?
mm. I think I don't know, man. I think genuinely, I think it's like why don't I don't know, like why don't schools have a class on trade or like business? Even I can't even
Yeah.
say trades because they'll just teach you how to like lay bricks, but it's like on how to do.
Nah,
I don't know, bro.
it's
I have no
facts. Like
idea.
I had business management in school, yeah, but it was complete. Like I have not used one or remembered one bit of it, you know. And that was the same business teacher that was saying to me previously that I wasn't smart enough to do National 5 business, which is like GCSE level. And again, it's like I feel like again a lot of the people that are teaching you this stuff, they're not marketer. Like if you were a marketer, you wouldn't be a teacher, and that's no disrespect to anyone that's a teacher, but it's just knowing that what you're actually what you're learning is all just theory, and it's not actually being tested by you yet. So, because the guy was asking me about music marketing in particular, and like different ways artists can market their music, etc. And it's like you're not going to learn that from a uni course where they're teaching you about the different psychology behind marketing colors or like like the different roles within a business. Yeah, this stuff's important, but that stuff you would learn anyway through just doing it. So moral of the
Yeah,
story,
and
just do it.
it's like it's not that valuable, bro. Like I don't think it's that valuable to learn like, oh yeah, different colors can connotate different feelings. Like, yeah, bro, I could have googled that and figured that out, idiot.
That
You know,
bro,
it's like,
ChatGPT,
oh, I don't know, man.
ChatGPT, that bro.
Bro,
Yeah.
facts,
Um,
facts.
one thing I wanted to touch on as well because he was asking me about the ways to market your music as an artist, and I thought I'd talk about that on here and give a bit of free game for everyone listening. So let's say, and this is something I'm currently doing with my boy Big Chops in Birmingham. Shout out! And yeah, so
Let's go.
essentially you want to record a bulk amount of music. You want to record like 10 plus tracks, let's say, and potentially even more. But let's say 10, because a lot of artists they'll record two tracks, they'll release the two of them, and then for another month or two, nothing's going on, and that's why a lot of people don't build up any hype. So you want to create a vault of your music, then pick one or two songs that you think are the best. Like, yes, that's got the potential to get a lot of attention or to blow me up, and then save them for your last tracks. And on the lead up, release the eight or so previous on the lead up, have some music videos for them. What we're doing with Chops is we're first of all creating an EP, just a small 5 track EP, two videos with that, just to get some attention and noise around him. And then on his second project, that is where we've got a couple of extra songs where we really think will blow him up and get him that attention. Now, if we had done that on the first EP, what a absolute complete waste, because you've not built up the attention, you've not built up the credibility for any of this stuff, and yeah, no one's really going to tune into it, and the people that do is good. But again, why would you cut your streams or your views or what you're going to get from the track by 90%, let's say, because that is how much you really could be
Yeah,
losing from not building yourself up.
interesting. I can't lie to you. I think of music marketing. I don't even look into it that much. Like I don't understand how music marketing works on the back end, or maybe I haven't thought about it enough.
In
You
what
know,
in what way?
like I understand like so if I was a musician, I would 100% run ads.
Yep.
I would 100% be posting as many clips as possible of the music. But I'm wondering, like, what would the email automations look like on the back end?
Yeah, yeah, bro. See, because you've got such a marketing brain, it's almost that simple for you that it's like confusing that other people don't get it. But because these artists have no real knowledge of the marketing or what they're doing, like none of them even think to implement that, specifically like email marketing and stuff on the back end. So a lot of them don't even face issues such as that, which is why when people jump on board with time is money, it's like instantly we're tracking data, we're planning ahead 3 to 6 months, and we're then planning content around all of the releases for the 3 to 6 months. And then outside of that, we're looking for
Mm,
additional opportunities like podcasts, stuff like that, that you can just use to grow your personal brand and just get more views in. But bro, that's stuff that none of these artists do. Like literally none of them. Specifically collecting data and stuff like that, which I find crazy because that's how you're able to tell how you're progressing and how well you're doing. But again, a lot of these people, they're experts in the music and not the marketing, and that's why there's guys like me and you.
yeah, for sure. What would you do for like? How would you educate music artists then on marketing? Like, how would you get them to listen?
Yeah, I think really and truly maybe some sort of community or course where they can like take in some of the information. But what I found with a lot of them is that a lot of them don't really want to learn. They kind of just want to delegate it and have someone that can just take control. Because again, a lot of these artists have already got writing lyrics on their head, recording music, getting the music mastered, dealing with producers, managers, etc. Like there's a lot of things that
Hmm.
they're facing, and a lot of those things they're facing for like the first time as well. So then trying to learn and take on the marketing, a lot of them just really they're just more so looking for an outsource. That's why guys like Russ, who have been in the game for like 15 plus years or so, he knows all this now because he's had that experience and he's been established for a long enough time where he's now got the time to go and like research that stuff and learn it and essentially. Whereas a lot of these guys just haven't had that amount of time in the game, and they've also hello Harley, and Harley distracting me while I'm making my point. Aye, bad boy. I forgot what I was saying there. Little arsehole. Um, what was the point? Apologies.
You're just talking about how like a lot of artists don't have the experience.
Yeah, yeah, literally, it's more so just an outsource game for them because they've not got the time in the game, and they've also not just got the upfront time in general. So yeah, I think
Interesting.
if you've got nothing else to add on that, we could swiftly end it.
Yeah, bro. That's it for me.
Right, cool. We can just cut that bit out. Yes, people. So that will be
Yes,
the end of
sir.
this episode. If you can drop us a like, a comment, a share, it's really appreciated. It helps us with the growth. Profit Philosophy on Instagram and TikTok as well. Peace out.
Let's go.